Hello and welcome to my first of hopefully many match reviews. Before I start, let me know down in the comments any other matches from this game week or in the future that you want me to review, and I'll do that for you if possible. But today I'm starting with Derby County 1, Middlesbrough 0. Let's get into it. Looking at the average player positions, you can see Derby went out there with a plan and it was executed perfectly. They knew there was no chance they were going to dominate this game. They had to soak up pressure at multiple occasions and deal with it for as long as they could. And when they had the chance to counter-attack, they had to take it, and they did so perfectly. Caden Jackson capitalising on an awful mistake from Isaiah Jones, taking the ball calm, composed, around Seny Dieng and slots it in calmly for his first league goal of the season. It was perfect. Derby County 1-0 up in 14 minutes. But scoring that early on, obviously Middlesbrough then had plenty of time to go back at Derby, and they did so a lot. Derby County had to soak up a lot of pressure, with Bergzorg being very high throughout the game. Looking at the average positions, you can see Latte Lath, Bergzorg high for a long period of time. Derby had to try and close that down. They had a lot of ball in the Derby half, a lot around the edge of the box, and the Derby midfield had to stay resolute and intercept and clear as many times as they could. And with Ben Osborne, David Ozo and Kenzo Haubmine, they did an unbelievable job nullifying the chances that Middlesbrough got. They had a lot of the ball but didn't create too many clear-cut opportunities, and the ones they did were ultimately saved by Josh Vickers in net, who had a wonderful performance. We'll get onto him later. A big difference maker was Derby having a focused man, unlike how they did against Blackburn Rovers. Caden Jackson operated as a number 9 against Blackburn Rovers, and that means Derby County didn't have a big, strong presence as Jackson wants to get out wide and drive at the fence. This time, Collins stood strong, dropped deep, won the ball. He held it up perfectly, allowing a lot more freedom for Jackson and Mendes-Lang out wide to press and push forward and create counter-attacking opportunities when Derby got the ball. However, not very often, but when they did, obviously they made it work. Collins, a big, strong threat. He loves to get stuck in with a challenge. He loves to track back and defend, and he did a wonderful job. Despite getting a goal or an assist, he played wonderful. Drifted out wide on occasions, put some good balls in the box. Derby couldn't score any of them, but he was a very underrated player, I think, this game. Got a low match rating, but in my opinion, he played how he should do, and he put in a good performance and was a very key part of this Derby County win. He did his role perfectly. Focusing in on the goal scorer, Caden Jackson, Derby County are lucky to have him this season. He looks to be someone who can help them. He is electric on the counter-attack, very fast, and he showed his composure in front of goal as he took it round Seny Dieng. But also, that's not all he did. When Derby needed, when Derby defended, both wingers, Mendes-Lang and Jackson, tracked back so far, playing as almost wing-backs in a case. Caden Jackson up against Isaiah Jones on multiple occasions, and looking at his stats, making 6 recoveries, 2 interceptions, 1 clearance, showed how much he had to do in that defending half and how much pressure he had to soak up from Middlesbrough. He did an excellent job attacking wise, getting his goal, but also his defensive work can't be ignored, and he did an unbelievable job, as well as Mendes-Lang, who also did a very similar role down the left hand side. The Derby wingers really doing well to hold on there. Looking at the XG of the game, Middlesbrough had more than Derby, and that's expected, most of Derby's being that Caden Jackson chance. Middlesbrough had a lot of chances, but the good chances they did have were mostly saved by this man, Josh Vickers, the man of the match. What a performance from him. The Derby County, he's not really had a chance as a number 1 for too long for Derby, and people don't expect that he's going to. He's not had the greatest of receptions by Derby fans in the recent performances, but what a performance this is. He won the game for us. He did it all. Looking at these stats, it was just unbelievable. He was saving everything that came at him. No one could get past him. 5 diving saves, 10 recoveries, 1 high claim, and 3 punches. He was vital in this win. No one could get past him. His kicking, a little dodgy at times, went out for throws, but that's okay. We'll ignore that for now, as he had a world-beating goal. Derby just signing Zetterstrom from Sweden. He looks to be Derby's number one for the future, but you can't drop Vickers after a performance like that. Give Zetterstrom something to work towards. Josh Vickers has earned himself a spot in the next game, in my opinion. What a performance from Josh. Looking at the key players for Middlesbrough, Emmanuel Latte-Lath, everyone knows about him if you're a Championship fan. What a striker he is. However, it was an awful performance from him. He had 3 chances, 3 great scoring opportunities, 0 shots on target. An XG of 1.09, scoring 0. 0 expected goals on target because he couldn't get a shot on target. That is very disappointing from the striker. The chances he had one at the back post, hit the side netting, another header, or I'm not sure what part of the body it hit, but it wasn't his head, knocking it just wide. But it was an unbelievable performance in the Derby defence to nullify such a good attacking option to just such little chances. He definitely should have scored. Not scoring for him is very disappointing after the end of last season, how good he was and how clinical in front of goal. He's going to be a key part to Middlesbrough's attack this season if they want to get up into the playoff places. However, he could not find the back of the net today, and because of that, Middlesbrough could not score and Derby County took all 3 points. Another player, Matt Clark, he had a pretty good game today, won a lot of duels, won a lot of the balls. However, there were a few mistakes that you've got to pick up on, allowing Derby players just to run around him and take the ball and have shots on target or have shooting opportunities. That is not going to work against the top strikers, and he was a key part of the Middlesbrough defence and played well, but he has to cut out those mistakes. He was here at Derby before, and I remember when he was at Derby before, he had a lot of mistakes in him too, and he needs to try and put those out as much as possible, because if he keeps doing those against the top strikers, Middlesbrough are going to have a bit of a problem here, and they're going to concede quite a few goals, which will hinder their chances in getting into the playoffs this season. But he had a decent performance and made a lot of challenges and did also stop a lot of Derby counter-attacks, so fair play to Matt Clark. Back at Pride Park, however, on the wrong side of the scoreline. Looking at the momentum chart, you can see Middlesbrough dominated this game. They dominated the ball. Had a lot more possession than Derby. However, football is not a game of possession, it's a game of goals, and Derby County beat them on that regard. One of the few regards they did beat them, but that was the most important one. Derby County having quite a bit of momentum, dropping off into a big domination from Middlesbrough for the next 10 minutes before Derby County got their goal. See, not even a spike on the graph, showing how little threat Derby were posing around the time of their goal, but they got the goal, and that's all that matters. After that, they soaked up more pressure, creating a few chances here and there for the rest of the half. However, going into the second half, Derby County started strong, created a couple chances, not too many shots, if any. But then, for the rest of the half, Derby County barely attacked the goal, barely created a chance, and just sat back and let Middlesbrough control the ball and just said to them, try your best. Middlesbrough were the better team today, but Derby wanted the 3 points more. Derby needed the 3 points more. A first win for Derby this season, a first clean sheet. Paul Warne will be delighted with this performance. Derby County finishing in 12th, we will take that every single day. That is lovely. We will take that by the end of the season if we can stay there. Middlesbrough in 11th, just ahead. It is a lovely performance from Derby today. Might not have been the best football to watch. However, it was smart. They did what they needed to and they won the game, which is the important thing. And that is all from me. I really do hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and a comment down below on any other games that you want me to review or your opinions on this game today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.